Yes, today being the 29th day of the month of November, information wey dey reach us from sources close to the presidency tok say there is now active talk of a political settlement in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. According to these sources, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, and key actors inside the National Assembly are quietly weighing options on how to politically resolve this matter after the life imprisonment sentence and transfer to Sokoto Correctional Center. Inside this video, we go break down everything. Where this idea of political settlement start from, wetin Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act really mean, the silent role of the AGF and the presidency, the new pressure coming from Nnamdi Kanu's wife, the division between lawyers and political negotiators, and the political calculation Tinubu dey face ahead of 2027. My people, this video go long, detailed, and sensitive, so I go beg you, sit down, relax, and listen carefully. If any part confuse you, just drop your question in the comment section. We dey there to respond. Make we first clear one big misunderstanding. A lot of people think say this talk about political settlement started after Justice James Omotosho sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment for terrorism-related charges on 20th November 2025 and ordered that he be taken to a correctional center outside Abuja, which later turned out to be Sokoto. But no, this idea no start today o. The push for political settlement don dey table since 2024, even before this life sentence come into play. Only say many Nigerians no pay attention to that detail. Make we go back. On Wednesday, 19 June 2024, Nnamdi Kanu appeared before the Federal High Court when Justice Binta Nyako still dey in charge of the case. During that session, his lead counsel, Aloy Ijimako, stand up and make one very important request. He tell the court, "My lord, we are asking this court to invoke Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act." Now, some people hear that time, but they don't really understand the weight of wetin he talk. So the first question wey we need answer now be, what exactly be Section 17 and why e important for Nnamdi Kanu matter? Stay with me, we go break am down now. Section 17 of the Federal High Court Act, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, talk about promotion of reconciliation. In simple English, it talk two major things. Section 17(1). In any proceedings in the court may promote reconciliation among the parties and encourage and facilitate the amicable settlement of the case. Section 17(2). With the approval of the parties, the court fit refer the case for settlement to the parties themselves, their representatives, or even a third party. Make we break this thing down in street language. This section basically talks say, even for criminal matters with heavy political or security undertone, the court can encourage both sides to settle out of court if both parties agree. That means, on one side, you get the federal government of Nigeria. On the other side, you get Nnamdi Kanu, and Section 17 opened door for them to step away from pure courtroom drama and talk political solution under the supervision or encouragement of the court. So when Aloy Ejimako tell the court on 19th June 2024 to invoke Section 17, he no just dey talk to impress anybody. He was opening a legal door for political settlement. Trending news. Now, what was Justice Binta Nyako's reaction? Reports from that day show say she no reject the idea. She acknowledged say Section 17 dey part of the law and talk say she would consult the Attorney General of the Federation and by extension the presidency to see whether such reconciliation and settlement fit happen. At that point, two big questions show face. Is Nnamdi Kanu himself willing to explore settlement? Is the federal government willing to sit down and talk? Ejimako answered for his own side. By even raising Section 17, he signals say his client is open to some form of settlement, provided the terms no betray his core beliefs. But the federal government side, that one get as it be. For any political settlement to happen, three bodies must be involved: the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Attorney General of the Federation, the National Assembly, if any law or special framework go needed. At that time, the AGF na Lateef Olasunkani Fagbemi SAN, same person wey still be AGF today. According to what was said in open court, the prosecuting counsel for the federal government told the judge say he does not have the authority to negotiate political settlement on behalf of the government. If any negotiation go happen, it must be directly with the AGF and maybe other higher political authorities. So, what happened next? From 2024 records, the issue of settlement was pushed upstairs towards the AGF and presidency, but no clear public response come out that time. Then, Justice Binta Nyako recused herself from the case, and eventually the matter landed for Justice James Omotosho, the same judge who recently sentenced Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment. He refused the death penalty, but insisted on a very severe punishment. He ordered that Kanu be moved from DSS custody to a correctional center outside Abuja. Shortly after, his lawyer confirmed say he has been moved to Sokoto Correctional Center under the argument that it is a safer and more controlled environment. Now, with this new reality, Section 17 and political solution don't return to the table strongly.
Since Tinubu enter office, Lateef Fagbemi don't talk publicly about rule of law and fair trial for Kanu. He has repeatedly emphasized that courts should handle the case strictly by the Constitution and without political interference, at least on the surface. But this life sentence, plus the Sokoto transfer, creates new political pressure points. Security risk in Sokoto and nationwide. Sokoto no be empty land. The region don't see different forms of banditry and insecurity. People now they ask, if the judge talk say he dey move Kanu to a safe environment, how safe truly be Sokoto Correctional Center? Health concerns. In a recent live stream, Kanu's wife, Uche Kanu, alleged that her husband is currently facing serious heart-related health issues and that his condition inside Sokoto facility raises big humanitarian concerns. She called on the president to either release him or move him to a place where medical professionals can properly access him. These kinds of allegations, once public, naturally attract attention from international human rights bodies and religious leaders. Governors' quiet lobbying. We know say not many Southeast governors they speak boldly on this case, but two names keep coming up: Alex Oti of Abia State and Charles Soludo of Anambra State. Recently, Soludo was seen at the presidential villa, Aso Rock, in a closed-door meeting with President Tinubu. The official details no dey public, but it is hard to imagine a governor from the southeast will sit with the president and not raise the issue of Nnamdi Kanu at some point, especially after a life sentence that has shocked many in the region. Ethnic or regional backlash. The federal government knows one thing clearly. If anything happens to Kanu in custody, especially with all this talk of ill health, the reaction in the southeast could be very emotional and unpredictable. Nobody in government wants another round of heavy unrest, sit-at-home chaos, or violent confrontations. All these factors combine to push the AGF and the presidency towards re-examining the option they ignored in 2024, Section 17 political settlement. Our sources indicate that conversations are now happening quietly between the presidency, the AGF, and some lawmakers and political intermediaries. We cannot independently verify every detail of these closed-door talks, but the pattern of public statements and private visits suggests that political options are firmly back on the table. The Guardian. Now we must touch one very controversial name we keep entering this conversation, Simon Ekpa. Over the past few years, Ekpa has led his own faction and structure within the broader pro-Biafra struggle. He has been associated with prolonged sit-at-home orders and calls that many in the southeast felt deep economic and security impact from. Recently, international reports show say Simon Ekpa himself has been sentenced in Finland to 6 years in prison on terrorism-related offenses linked to his role in promoting violent activities connected to the Biafra struggle. In her live stream,
Kanu's wife directly blamed Simon Ekpa for worsening insecurity in the southeast, undermining clear instructions supposedly coming from Kanu through his lawyers, and, in her view, contributing to the tough stance the Nigerian state eventually took. Whether you fully agree with her or not, one thing is clear. The more violent and chaotic the situation became in the southeast, the easier it was for the federal government to argue for harsh security measures and heavy sentences. So when we talk about political settlement now, we are not just talking about one man in prison. We are talking about the state's fear of renewed violence, the split inside the pro-Biafra movement, and the need for credible guarantors who can ensure that any settlement actually leads to peace on the ground. Finally, make we talk politics raw. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows that releasing or politically settling Nnamdi Kanu's case will make him more popular in parts of the south. But the reaction in parts of the north may not be the same, especially among political and security elites who see Kanu as a major security threat. Tinubu is believed to have interest in running again in 2027. That means he's thinking about bloc votes, coalition politics, and how not to offend powerful blocs that can influence northern votes. So his dilemma looks something like this. If he moves boldly toward political settlement now, he may gain serious goodwill in the southeast, reduce tension and insecurity, and show the world that Nigeria can handle separatist crisis politically, not just with force. But he also risks angering some northern power brokers who may see such a move as rewarding someone they regard as a terrorist and may quietly work against his 2027 ambition. On the other hand, if he refuses political settlement and leaves Kanu to serve life in Sokoto, he might maintain short-term support from some northern elites, but he keeps the southeast question open, and he carries the risk that any health crisis, prison incident, or new wave of unrest will be blamed directly on his government. So what do we at TruthLine Africa believe? From everything we've seen so far in court, in politics, in the streets, a political settlement remains the most realistic end game for this case, not the appeal court alone. We cannot tell you exact date or exact format, and we not go pretend to know what we don't know, but all the signs, renewed talk of Section 17, increased pressure from family and governors, international attention, and the long-term political risks for Tinubu, all of them point to one direction. At some point, sooner or later, Nigeria will have to sit down and negotiate its way out of this case. So my people, as everything day now, the game has shifted. Nnamdi Kanu is no longer just a pre-trial detainee in DSS custody. He is now a convicted prisoner with a life sentence inside Sokoto Correctional Center, with serious health concerns being raised and with growing local and international pressure building around his case. What do you think should happen next? Should Tinubu embrace political settlement now, even if it costs him politically in some regions? Or should he insist on the full weight of the court judgment, no matter the regional and humanitarian pressure? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. As always, we go read your comments, and we go use them to guide our next deep dive. If this breakdown helped you understand the issue better, kindly like this video, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to TruthLine Africa so you no go miss our next update. Stay informed, stay safe. This is TruthLine Africa.